Good morning. There are many clocks in this church, and none of them agree. So I'm officially declaring it 10:30, and we'll start. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Greater Naples. We're so happy to see you today. If this is your first time with us, I hope that you will join us for coffee and refreshments afterwards through the doors and through the kitchen and out onto the patio. We would be happy to get to know you a little bit better. Our mission statement is in the front of your order of service. It states that we are a welcoming congregation freely seeking intellectual and spiritual growth, that we strive to build a wider community of peace, justice, and love. Each of us here is encouraged to grow spiritually in fellowship with others, offering mutual support in times of need. If you are with us for the first time, I can direct your attention to the back of the order of service, which has some important points about both this congregation and Unitarian Universalism. You can take a look at that during the service. Today we have a very special service, our annual Gay Pride service. I hope you'll enjoy it. We have some wonderful reflections. We have some wonderful music. At least I think so. So I would, since I'm participating in some of that, I think so anyway. David Goldstein tells me that to remind you that PFLAG, the Parents and Friends of Lesbians and Gays, are marching in the July 4th parade this year along with Equality Florida. And if you have an interest in joining them, see David. David, do you want to stand up for just a second? There you are in the back. And he'll tell you all the logistical pieces about that. You also have in your order of service our Sunday news, which gives you all the highlights of the upcoming week. And I draw your attention also to the celebration at the Naples Haitian congregation next Saturday, which is a wonderful event sponsoring their mission trip to Haiti. In just about 5 days, we have 5 of our congregation going to Haiti on a different mission, and we're looking forward to sending them off and then to hearing back from them when they come back and sharing with us their experience in Haiti. If you're in need of hearing aids, there are some that the ushers can bring to you if you raise your hand. There's also some large print hymnals in the back. Should you need those, just raise your hand or quietly go to the back and find them. The ushers will help you. And let's now center ourselves in our minds and hearts in the spirit of worship.
Good morning. I'm Jan Juergens. Steve Espinosa and I are co-chairs of the Social Justice Committee. One of the concerns of this committee is supporting justice and equity for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgendered, and queer people. At an annual meeting in 2001, our congregation voted to be recognized publicly by the Unitarian Universalist Association as a welcoming congregation. Thanks to Sandy Brown for this information. What does it mean to be a welcoming congregation? It means respecting and valuing our gender and sexuality differences, our different social circumstances, our different experiences and backgrounds. It means promoting inclusivity and discouraging exclusivity. It means striving to assure that lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer people who choose to be members of our Unitarian Universalist congregation of Greater Naples are welcome here and are welcome to join this congregation. So, what has to be done to become a welcoming congregation? There's a lot of work. We have to meet the requirements of the Unitarian Universalist Association, and it may take up to 1.5 years to meet all those requirements. It is a commitment that we as members of this congregation continue to have. And the UUA recommends that if the welcoming congregation recognition was obtained more than 5 years ago, the congregation should renew its welcoming congregation designation. So we have work to do. President Obama in 2009 declared that June is Pride Month. Unitarian Universalists have a long and strong history of supporting and promoting justice and rights for all people. We commit to standing on the side of love, seeking love to stop the dehumanization of people by oppression, violence, greed, hate, and exclusion. So today and every day, let us honor the inherent worth and dignity of every person and respect the interconnectedness of all life. And so, we light our chalice every week as a form of ingathering, a sign of our unity in the search for truth and our passion in the quest for justice. And our community grows and thrives. May our flame leap with the added glow of our many lights and radiate far beyond these sanctuary walls. As Roger Brown lights the chalice, let us say together the chalice lighting words in your order of service. The warmth of community, the fire of commitment, we gather this day. May the flame we now kindle be to us a symbol of the unity we seek.
Thank you, Jen, and let's seek some unity as we sing our opening hymn, number 170 in your gray hymnal, We Are a Gentle, Angry People. Please rise in body or spirit.
We are
As we begin this service, let's take a moment together to be clear on what we are about here. If you are willing, I hope you'll lend your voices in response to my words that I believe echo our movement's fervent wish to be open and welcoming to all people. As one partner in the same-sex couple that I married just last night said, there are as many ways to be human as there are human beings in this world. So I hope you'll respond to my words with these words. It will not matter. Let's try that once. It will not matter. Recognizing the interdependent web of which we are a part, we strive to build community knowing our strength together will be our salvation. If you are black and I am white, it will not matter. If you are younger and I am older, it will not matter. If you are progressive and I am conservative, it will not matter. If you are gay and I am straight, it will not matter. If my body doesn't represent the truth within, it will not matter. If you are humanist and I am pagan, it will not matter. When we join as kindred spirits, joyous in what we share and reveling in our differences, the pain of our aloneness will be lessened and our shared pathway will be lighted. And that does indeed matter. We have 3 reflections this morning for you. And I believe our first is John Betcher.
I just might note, as Ramona did, that I entered these portals 10 years ago and instantly felt welcome as a gay man. Indeed, it was the first time I ever came out to a group. And there was no gasp of surprise, just pleasure. And because it's a welcoming congregation, I have become very active in a variety of things, including this little reflection. If you have a paper copy, the office has provided such for hard of hearing people. It's called A Joe or Jane by Any Other Name. And it's just a personal reflection. I think we all know the famous quotation by Shakespeare from Romeo and Juliet, "What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name, including Jake Rose, would smell as sweet most of the time." I was reminded of this quotation just a few weeks ago when sitting in this congregation next to a gay couple, then new to the members of our congregation. One of them asked me in a hushed voice, quote, "How should I introduce my partner to a UU?" Well, I was a bit startled. But how does an LGBT member indicate his or her relationship is or status? Really, what descriptive to use? Barely a decade or two ago, when an LGBT article or obituary mentioned a gay or lesbian person's special relationship, it was often with a term, longtime companion. Later, that became lifetime companion. Now, given the marriage equality movement, the phrasing has again evolved to spouse or wife or husband. Thus, each man is committed in a committed couple might say, "This is my husband," or a woman might say, "This is my wife." Actually, this first occurred to me in this very sanctuary about 4 years ago. I was helping the audio technician, a woman, set up for a concert by the Gay Men's Chorus of Fort Lauderdale. We had chatted a bit while working through the necessary electrical connections, and she said to me, "Hey, later I would like you to meet my wife." Well, at that time, I was a bit taken back. I had never heard a gay woman say, "my wife." It seemed a bit odd, but I think we as a society and a culture have gratefully transitioned a lot in the last few years, and now I feel comfortable using wife or husband for both members, respectively, of a lesbian or gay relationship. So what to suggest to today's inquiring new member? Are we ready as Unitarian Universalists to flow with the man's, introduction of "this is my husband, Joe," or a woman's introduction of "this is my wife, Jane"? I hope that it will come to be the accepted terminology. So don't be surprised when you first hear it, as I was when I first heard it in this sanctuary. But did I have the PC, the political correctness, to share this view with the current UU member who asked me what term to use? Well, I confess I did not. Rather, I suggested life partner. One party or two party or second party, in the terminology of some revised state marriage licenses today, well, that seems a bit too impersonal and bureaucratic for use in conversation. In contrast, my lover seems overly romantic, intimate, and sexual. Saying my partner, well, that's fine, depending on the situation, but it is ambiguous and may lead to someone to ask, well, your business partner? What real estate are you in? Or what lawyer? It is a confusing issue, this evolving terminology. But then UUs are used to complexity and rather err, as our poster says, and has been said already from this pulpit, we rather err on the side of love, as our current slogan mounted so prominently in our sanctuary wall declares. So I went with advising this gentleman to say life partner. To me, it has a warm ring to it and implies length of years and fundamental commitment, two qualities evident in every good marriage, whatever the genders involved. Someday and soon, I think with the Supreme Court's permission, we will be comfortable with husband and wife as descriptors for LGBT marriage partners, or just spouse with its historic and legal resonance. But for now, I will personally opt for life partner. In fact, I have a life partner of 44 years. He says the first 50 years are the hardest. So I'm still waiting. A good word of advice is probably, given the circumstances of an introduction, just to make one's own decision regarding terminology, knowing that whatever the choice, we are moving as a society and culture to full acceptance of every loving, lasting relationship, whatever the genders involved. We as UUs and as Americans stand firmly on the side of love and marriage equality, whatever term or terms we use by personal choice to describe our partners is still marriage. As our next song dedicated to the Supreme Council is Marriage from Cabaret.
Change like that. Good morning. Well, most of you know me as Michael Dias, or Mike, but my name is Miguel João Amancio Dias. And that's because I'm actually Azorian Portuguese. In fact, both of my families hail from the same island of San Miguel's, and all of that pretty much guaranteed me a family and culture that was centered around a very strict Roman Catholic family with a home in New Bedford, Massachusetts. Like most members of the LGBT community, I somehow knew when I was 4, 5, or 6 years old that I was different from the other boys, and I knew, including different from my own siblings. By the time I was 6 or 9 years old, it was clear to me what I was different and why I was different from the other boys. And it was equally clear that I could not share these feelings with anyone. Not my parents, not my siblings, friends, teachers, and certainly not our parish priest. It had to be only my secret. Well, I was able to keep the secret through my childhood, adolescence, and even through early adulthood. But then, somewhere during my late 20s, and after the 4 years of being stationed on an ammunition ship with Uncle Sam, after all those years of Catholic school, catechism classes, Sunday and holy day masses, and the lies of omission within the confession booth, after all the years of the threat of eternal damnation because who I was and felt powerless to change, the epiphany came. Why am I tolerating this? Why am I still praying for forgiveness? I decided, and did, simply walk away from the Pope's church and out of that section of my closet. In doing so, however, I also sadly walked away from so many of those traditions and events that connected me with my culture and family. With that, I began searching for those truths that made sense to me and my identity. Now, I will, however, admit that my closet-exploding epiphany did coincide with meeting Stephen Goldenberg, who was the major love of my life both then and now. During the next 10 to 15 years, with a few unfulfilling attempts with various religious groups, and while still trying to keep my family connections, my directions focused on trying to build my own little heaven on earth with Steve. I deliberately and methodically developed a social network, found a neighborhood, and a career that would allow Steve and I to feel safe sharing our relationship openly. I continued to learn, grow, experience, and mature, but even with my Stevie, I knew I still felt a need to find and fulfill my spiritual self. Then, as the saying goes, without warning, off the side of a wooden rural road in Falmouth, Massachusetts, there it was, a small, unimposing white building with a weathered sign with a faded, torn rainbow sticker on the bottom right-hand corner below the words, Unitarian Universalist Fellowship in Falmouth. However, the faded, and let me tell you, at the time, Unitarian Universalist was a very, very strange word for me. I had never heard that in New Bedford, Massachusetts, even though there is one there. However, the faded and rainbow sticker got the best of me, and I found myself in the back row of that unimposing building during the next Sunday service and every Sunday for 10 years after. At UU, I found a place where I did not only feel welcome and safe, but also encouraged to develop my own spiritual life, no matter where that was going to leave me. Steve and I are an interfaith family. We each attend our respective homes of worship and try to incorporate our own spiritual beliefs and family traditions into our life together. All the while, our relationship continues to evolve over the years. And finally, on July 13th, 2004, in Falmouth, Massachusetts, in that unimposing white building with a faded rainbow sticker. After exactly 26 years to the day of living together, Steve and I were able to be married legally. We had an interfaith service. And it was officiated by a rabbi and a UU minister. Together, the four of us discussed and wrote the ceremony. We stood under a huppah. We drank wine from a cup. We both broke a glass and lit a rainbow candle in a chalice. The clergymen read pieces of the script, both separate and in unison. Then, just before we were declared legally married, Rabbi Lennick announced, "Now we will do what should have happened 26 years ago." Reverend Bob Murphy then took Stephen down to where my mother sat and said to her, "This is Stephen, your son-in-law." Then to each of my siblings, "This is Stephen, your brother-in-law." Then Rabbi Lennick took me down to where Stephen's nieces and cousins were. And he said to them, "This is Michael, your uncle. This is Michael, your cousin." Finally, I and Stephen, my spouse, were now fully recognized by our religion, by our friends, and most importantly, by our family. And that's what made all the difference to us. Thank you.
And that's why this matters so much. Thank you. It matters a lot. And I forgot the rainbow candle. See, we do have some work to do. This is a wonderful congregation, a welcoming congregation, but as Jan said, we have work to do both within these walls and most especially outside these walls as a congregation of people who believe very much in being open and welcoming, not only here, but in the community. So in the spirit of that, and for the ongoing mission of this congregation, this morning's offering will be gratefully received. In the Adavatamka Sutra of the Heian school of Buddhism, the Hindu god Indra is said to have created reality as a great net with multicolored jewels at each intersection of the threads. Every jewel is reflected in the other. They are all connected by the infinite, intricate web. And we thought that was an original UU concept. The jewels, all the jewels, are sacred, and so is the net that connects them. So let's join in the spirit of meditation as we think on these things. Spirit of life. We consider the in-between spaces of our lives where one hand reaches to touch another. You are there. Where eyes meet across the crowd and confusion and find understanding, you are there. When the spark leaps from one mind to ignite another, that is you. Wherever we connect, we find the positive spirit of life. Each of us is a jewel in Indra's net, shining like dew in a spider's web. One to another we are connected. The web connects all of humanity with the vastness of the universe. And when we reach across the in-between on our way from the intolerable to the unknown, when we defy the categories that small minds invent and dare to imagine something beyond, when we seek others who are on a journey, on a threshold, on the margins, in any of the shimmering intersections of our lives, when we listen to the possibilities whispered within and step bravely into the mystery with trust, with fear, with trembling, there we will find wonder. For there we dwell in a sacred space. Let's join together in a time of silence. Our musical response to the meditation this morning is you. We'll join our voices together in singing hymn number 1007 in the Teal hymnal. Rise and body your spirit. There's a river flowing in my soul. And Our third reflection today comes from Sarah Oliver. Happy to welcome up to the dais.
Good morning. My name is Sarah Oliver. I'm both honored and encouraged to have this chance to speak here into such a large gathering of advanced and compassionate people. I have a lot of respect for this congregation's mission, which in summary seeks to foster intellectual and spiritual growth, in turn promoting peace, justice, and love for all peoples, including the LGBT community. I've had the privilege of attending several services over the years, as has my child, JJ, who's participated in the religious education program. The acceptance was stunning and at times greatly appreciated by both myself and JJ. I hope to continue to build on my relationship with this congregation and its members. And now, let me jump right in, for I have been allocated 5 minutes. And I'm sure I'm about 60 seconds into my allowance. This essay is titled, Lessons My Trans Kid Taught Me. I am now 10 years into this journey, and this is what I've learned. 1, there is no such thing as too young to know. JJ was argumentative about gender from the age of old enough to talk. No, I am not a boy, I am a girl. 2-year-olds do not know about sexual organs and who has what, but they certainly can identify as male or female. And holy cow, did JJ ever voice it. 2, it comes from within. You can take away every feminine toy, article of clothing, and all objects pink or purple in a trans girl's room, and they will still find a way to feminize. Trust me, I tried it, and trust me, JJ was able to fashion a beautiful little black dress using a Batman cape and 2 balloons. I now know I did not cause it, and I certainly cannot change it. After getting over my own unfounded feelings of guilt, I've learned we cannot and should not suffocate a fellow's natural desire to express oneself. 3, T is not LGB. Transgender has nothing to do with sexual preference. I've had enough experience to say that of the handful of questions people first ask me when hearing about my child is, are you sure he isn't just gay? Or does he like boys or girls? For gosh sakes, what does it matter? JJ was 6. I don't know and don't particularly care. Just know that trans people might be rightly offended when asked this question. It comes off as ignorant and is completely irrelevant. 4, it's not easy to see your boy wear a dress for the first time, or 10, or 20. Just trust me, you get used to it, and one day you don't notice what he's wearing, because it really doesn't matter. You will get used to it, and so will others. 5, pronouns are complicated. Some of us have been there. Many of us are still there. How do we refer to somebody so obviously gender variant, especially someone we have previously known as a he or she? May I suggest 2 options? The first is to become really good and stealth-like, avoiding them altogether. How is JJ? Oh, JJ is fine. Can you take our order? Yes, I'll have water and JJ will have milk. Where's JJ? In JJ's bedroom. We may end up using first names more than usual and raising some eyebrows, but so what? The second option is to simply ask them how they prefer to be referred to and do your best to use that pronoun going forward. Depending on where someone is with their gender transition, this may be best. And of course, it will feel weird, and we may slip up, but we get used to it. Just remember, it's not about us, but them. It is their story and not ours. And 6, the world can be changed one person at a time. I know this to be true. It happened to me. I'm an enormously better person today than I was 10 years ago. Not all, but a giant portion of that is directly attributable to raising JJ. Despite all obstacles, most of which JJ hasn't seemed to notice, JJ is inherently happy, optimistic, kind, and perhaps most important, forgiving. I've learned over the years with a child's tenderness what it means to love unconditionally. Through a combination of observation and osmosis, I've come to appreciate that name, size, skills, education, gender, mistakes, nor is intelligence a factor when one honestly loves unconditionally. Those with the strongest of sentiments have laid down their unnatural but habitual prejudices and overcome fears to simply love a child. This child, my child, God's child, our child. Thank you.
The themes of self-reliance and self-knowledge expressed in Henry David Thoreau's book Walden resonate with Unitarian Universalists and members of the LGBT community. But for gay people, self-knowledge is not a philosophical choice, but it's an existential reality. It's called our coming out. When we admit the reality of who we are, first to ourselves and then to our family and friends. To this end, these words of Thoreau's from the last pages of Walden have been an anthem for the gay liberation movement. And while the pronouns are male, it applies to all genders. If a man does not keep pace with his companions, perhaps it's because he hears a different drummer. Let him step to the music which he hears, however measured and far away.
Let's close our service by singing together hymn number 131 in your gray hymnal, a change in the order of service. Number 131, Love Will Guide Us. And stand in body or spirit. Grateful for all those voices that shared their vision, their story this morning. I urge you to go out into the world in peace, to have courage, to hold on to what is good, to return to no person evil for evil, strengthen the faint-hearted, support the weak, help the suffering, honor all beings. Blessings on you all.